Treachery will be Ultrakill's final layer, and somehow it has 0 official trailers. Despite this, I think I can prove exactly how it will look, and if that's true, we can also figure out who the final boss is, what happened to Lucifer, and even who the third prime soul is. Of course, the first thing to talk about is... Now, despite having a total of absolutely fuck all teasers, unlike my merch, we've actually already been told exactly how Treachery will be. How? Fraud actually has a piece of treachery in it, and I don't mean metaphorically or rhetorically or poetically or in any other way. It's treachery, straight up. Towards the end of 8.3, we find these platforming segments depicting the previous layers. The prelude, limbo, last, then fraud. Of course, you got the double street cleaners, but after that, it's an environmental style we've never seen. Stone structures, a sigil embedded underneath the blood tree. I'm extremely confident in saying that this is our first sneak peek into the layer. So that's it, right? Treachery is this stony, boring-y fuck place. No. One of the hidden books in Fraud actually describes Treachery like this. An enormous pond. Vast. This isn't liquid though. It's completely frozen. Treachery would be a combination of this natural ice element with these stone structures. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the ice is blood. Yeah, this is a giant frozen ocean of blood. Hell is playing the cruelest trick on V1, dangling an endless supply of blood just barely out of reach. It's kind of fitting for a final punishment. This icy environment leads us to our first hint for the third prime soul, because someone else is trapped here too. Meet... Alright, this guy's fucking confusing. I think we've all seen the dozen screenshots saying, "No Lucifer fight," or "Lucifer's fucking dead," or some shit. I'm here to clear it all up. Lucifer was an archangel cast into hell, or specifically Treachery, the layer of betrayal, after questioning God. And once he landed there, hell started treating him like a toy. In the books, hell literally says,
"I shall give to you all the agonies that can exist, and many that cannot."
Lucifer is being tortured horrifically, which raises a pretty big question. What does this mean? Well, it means one of these 3 things has to be true. Number 1, a Lucifer mini-boss in 9.1. It'd be something like the Minotaur in how it only shows up in that specific level. That's because in Dante's Inferno, Lucifer is a colossal demon frozen from the waist down in Treachery. And I don't think that motherfucker is showing up in the Cybergrind. As for why he's fighting V1, perhaps he's so badly hurt that he's acting on pure instinct like an animal. Or perhaps because V1 is indirectly a creation of God, Lucifer sees it as a chance for revenge. Option number 2, Lucifer is dead and we find his smelly corpse. Wouldn't be the first time we see something like that. I'm looking at you, Sisyphus. But unless there's something more going on there, I don't think they would do that. If they do kill him in Treachery, it'll lead directly into option number 3, Prime Soul. I'll have to explain more about that one once we explore the other theories. Okay, so we know the rough idea for the first Treachery level. What about 9.2? What could be the final boss? Well, as I explained, not Lucifer. It just wouldn't make sense with the story, so it comes down to these final 2 contenders, Gabriel and Hell itself. We've been getting a lot of subtle hints throughout the game that Hell is sentient, and it's begun directly contacting us as of Act 3. It tells us to find the giant bomb, to feed the blood trees, details its plan in books, and most importantly, the finale to Fraud. This is the pivotal moment where it becomes painfully obvious that Hell is much more than an observer. Speaking of Fraud, if you want a reps and gloop, check out my limited time Fraud collection merch drop. Every design is original and parody, don't sue me, New Blood. Use the link in the description or just go to globium.com. After eventually killing the boss of Fraud, the screen cuts out in a way we've never seen before being greeted with... Gabriel now lays impaled on a statue, and we're on a stage. Every enemy from the layer remains backstage as a statue, the painted backdrop of Fraud, and most importantly, the entrance to the auditorium features this movie poster. City Dead Son, starring, guess who? V1. We were the stars. Hell has single-handedly played us like a game of chess. If Hell was able to conjure up an entire layer of combat inside our head, then surely it could be the final boss. It's a cool idea, and I won't say there's complete evidence against it. However, there's two main reasons as to why this most likely won't happen. Number one, V1 just ain't that guy. Akita has stated numerous times that V1 is not some super demigod machine. It isn't capable of keeping up with God himself or anything like that. The reason V1 can beat people like Gabriel and the Prime Souls is simple. They're just not that strong, and that's the point. Second reason, there's a much bigger plot thread dangling and waiting to be tied off. What the fuck? It's Gabriel. It's Gabriel. The entire game storyline is about him. He's one of the only characters to change during the story. Every cutscene is about him. Heaven changes entirely because of him. Akita has said that he is the main character, and he needs a conclusion. Act 2 might have set up the path for him. He's doomed to die, but he has yet to actually complete this story. It would be so unsatisfying as a player to just find him fucking slumped over in the previous level. Gabriel is the final boss, guys, and he also has this convenient little thing right here. Yeah. I think Gabriel's golden arm is gonna be the final arm. It's not just because he has a golden arm, it's because of fraud. Check out this bum-ass terminal entry. These are the powers and they're disciples of Gabriel who train under him. Because they're not fully formed archangels, they specifically wear a fake golden arm to help with their pride. Why would they place so much random emphasis on this super important lore document if it wasn't it? Come on, but what would it do? Well, we know that the devs already have a concrete idea for it, so it's not some super niche concept. Based on what we see Gabriel do, I think it'll be some form of teleportation, more specifically, the ability to teleport above an enemy like Gabriel does in this attack. Oh, for fuck's sake, not another. Okay, Akita, look away, bro. You don't want to see this. So a little while back, aka 4 years ago, we got the Act 2 update, and in that update, they done fucked up. They leaked 5S, they leaked Ultrakill must die difficulty, they leaked so much. And among those leaks was something related to the finale of the game. Literally. Using a tool to explore Unity game files, we were able to uncover a secret finale button on the main menu. This was in a similar style to that of the Prime and Encore levels, and clicking it would have sent us to 10-1 and 10-2. This means that there's a chance that 9-2 is not the final level, and we'll have an entirely separate, super unique layer as the game's finale. What's even gonna happen after the finale? Does V1 die? Does Hell die? Akita has previously stated this regarding the game's ending. It'll be pretty open-ended, so that way if they want to do a sequel in the future, they can. So for this reason, I don't think Hell's going to die. This would also mean that V1 isn't going to make its way into heaven, not yet. I think that's being reserved for a potential sequel. Which leads me to this sad idea. V1 and Gabriel will engage in their final battle, spilling the final fresh drops of blood in existence onto the ice. Gabriel, now weakened without God's light, will perish, and V1 is left alone. And with nobody left to power it, it enters an eternal slumber. This ending leaves V1 technically alive, simply without power. If someone or something were to feed it some blood, V1 could continue onwards. A sequel would most likely have V1 entering Paradiso, also known as Heaven, from a portal within Treachery. Also within Treachery is... Yeah, motherfuckers, it's time to talk about this shit, I'm so excited! Okay, visually, it's Treachery. If you look at P1 and P2, they take after their respective layers. P1 is a gory and bony mess, and P2 is in the city of Dis. That's the distant city in 6.1. That's because those layers only have 2 levels, so if you add this bonus one on now, there's kinda 3. So P3 will feature the same bloody ice and stone architecture, but gameplay-wise, we're fucked. It's also going to feature another combat gauntlet like P2, because it's confirmed to be the hardest level in the game. There's 3 enemies in particular that I think Hikida will abuse the most for this gauntlet segment. The Guttermen, whose accuracy increases forever. Hikida's gonna stick a few somewhere you can't reach, and their aim will keep improving until you literally can't dodge anymore. The only way to reach them would be enemy number 2, the Providence. This is because when a Providence dies, it drops a hook point. So to climb up to the Guttermen, you'd have to strategically kill multiple Providence, crafting your own path upward. Lastly, the Death Catchers. I don't really need to explain this one. This motherfucker is an idol on steroids. It fucking revives enemies. Also, look at this cool patch note. Notice anything? Death Catchers can no longer revive idols. In the Cybergrind. Why did you specify the Cybergrind? What do you mean by that? Get your theory caps on, get your fucking binoculars ready, cause we've got to look at every fucking pixel on these boobs. I mean, this book, the book, lore book. So if you scan this very confusing text incredibly closely, you'll find 3 main named characters: Antigone, Lucifer, and Ulysses. I have to immediately spoil something. It's not Antigone. She's mentioned once in a silly rhyme that literally has nothing to do with any of the rest of these texts. So, bye! Next, Lucifer. Unlike what some people say, he is a genuine contender for the 3rd Prime Soul. Story-wise, he's had a significant build-up, arguably more than the previous Prime Souls, since he was mentioned all the way back in Wrath's secret level. There's this very popular Hikida message thrown around often to disprove this theory, but I can confidently disprove this disprover. Hikida says that when a human dies, their soul goes to heaven or hell. If they die again after that, they're gone forever. Demons and angels, on the other hand, don't even get that. They just die once and that's it. But there's a problem with this. If dying twice erases a soul completely, how do you explain Minos and Sisyphus? They were human, died, went to hell, and were killed again by Gabriel. And yet they still came back as Prime Souls. So if Lucifer supposedly can't come back, neither should they. So the answer to our major question is answered then. The 3rd Prime Soul is Lucifer. There's still this fella to talk about. Ulysses is talked about in 8.3, where it's revealed that his body lies stuck under the frozen blood ocean in, guess where, Treachery. The other books in this level also tell an important story about humanity. The cycle of violence is someday broken, and a form of peace is restored. But once the cycle of suffering begins, it can never end, and so violence begins once more. That idea directly mirrors a very famous story, the Odyssey. Odysseus, the king of Ithaca, led a life of violence, war, and deceit. After Odysseus' journey naturally ended, he couldn't let that life go. He set sail once again in search of more adventure, and eventually drowns because of it. His life of violence circles back and causes his downfall. Great story, but how does this relate? Well, Odysseus is the Greek name for this character, but in Latin, he goes by something else. Ulysses. With that, things start to line up. This is a man defined by violence, someone who couldn't escape it. Even when his journey was over, he chose to continue it. Sound familiar? Every Prime Soul has been someone who refused to die. Minos fought for justice, Sisyphus fought for the act of struggle, Ulysses fought because violence was all he knew. It'll be the perfect ending to Ultrakill's story of violence. Because in the end, the cycle never truly stops. It just finds someone new to continue it. If you want to bring that chaos into the real world, grab my Fraud Collection merch in the description or just go to gluebeam.com.